Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today, City Lips Beauty Lip Oil, City Beauty Lip Oil, as if I haven't been using it for how long that I don't know what to say about it. So we're going to do the same thing, base face, click on, click off, come back, and pair palettes. For the base face, for our cheek situation today, we're going to use the Hourglass Swan palette. And this is what that looks like. And these three are the blushes in here. We're going to use everything in this palette. This is dim light. I do not like how it looks under my eyes, but we will put this everywhere else. And we may pull in luminous light to put under the eyes. But this is Swan, and we're going to use this. When we click off and come back, we're going to pair two Notoriously Morbid palettes. This one is Swamp of Sadness, and this one is Life or Death. And so we're most likely going to pull in the reds from this palette, excuse me for that glare, for this look with Swamp of Sorrows. And so that's our plan for today. I feel like I'm kind of getting back in the groove in a way. I am doing a little bit more videos, but other stuff isn't getting done. That's why I kind of said sort of. So let's go ahead and do the brows first. And while I'm doing the brows, we are going to, I am taking out mascara, the mascara base, and eyeliners. That's what I'm doing right now. So as we do the brows, we're going to do the intro. Hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? Crazy concept that I want you to start living by. Crazy concept, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique because whoever in that video was telling you that you have to. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint, because we're adorable. Two things about me. One is I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes. The other is there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch. I try to be aware of him to say excuse me. And yes, it got to a point where it was so frequent. I said I need to let them know ahead of time because this is just ridiculous. This is the Fenty brow pencil, deep black, but for me it's like a reddish brown where I have no hair. So I always think that that's just, I don't know, strange. Maybe that it says it's deep black or dark black. I shouldn't have been using this probably for since they launched. It says deep black. And the reason I like this one is because this side is a brush. And because I keep my hair tamed, I don't need a spoolie, you know, to scratch my skin, or that's what it feels like, to get my brows to go where I want them to go. And so I really love that it's a brush. And that's why I've only been using this since the first time I used it, the first time I purchased it. I do finish it in like 4 months or so. I do keep it back up. When there's a sale, I buy it back up, except for like now, because one, I already have backups, and two, I'm on a no-buy. So I really do. If you saw my last base face video with Fox, you will know that I love doing my brows this way. The back comb method Hung Bango uses. Some of the MAC professional makeup artists use it. You know, you can find their videos here on YouTube. Hung Bango, Love of My Life. He has videos of every skin color, every ethnicity, young, middle-aged, elderly. So if you're looking for something specific, he has it. And we know people watch a video and that might be just the video that they're watching, and they'll say, oh, can you do a such and such? And he'll be like, I have that on my channel already. I would love for you to check it out. And in a way it's funny, but in a way it's not. It's funny to me because I do watch him, and so I know, and even videos of someone new that I'm watching, I will go to their channel just to like breeze through, just to scroll and see what their other content is, even if I don't watch those particular videos. But when people ask for something and it's already there, I call it hiding in plain sight. Speaking of which, I have a lot of information down below. And sometimes people will ask me things. I'm like, it's hiding in plain sight. It's in my description box. Particularly when I have giveaways, which I am not right now. I did have one that just ended not too long ago as of today. Today is May 24th. It ended a few days ago. And there was only one entry. Because I hide information in plain sight, and I do mention it in the video or the live, but people miss them. And in a way, it's exciting because those who win are from the Crazy Troll Nation, meaning they've been here with me for years. And so I do love that, but I do just always find it kind of funny that it might be one, maybe two entries. And of course, they like the odds. They're like, okay, y'all like these odds. Chances I'm going to win if I answer. Yeah, chances are you will win if you answer. So that's just funny to me. But anyway, I don't have anything to really talk about today. I went down a rabbit hole. I cut my hair tonight when I woke up. Yes, I wake up at nighttime. I am nocturnal. And I went down a rabbit hole of farmers complaining about losing their farms. And we know why. Tariffs, deportations, and, there's a lot of people voting against their own best interest because and some of it to me is just kind of silly because if you are saying, yeah, deport the immigrants, look at who your hiring force is. Look at who your labor force is. And if your labor force is mostly immigrants, why would you vote for deportation? Why would you vote for somebody who's talking about mass deportation? And so some of this is really silly. It's just like, yeah, so who's going to work your farm? If you're voting for someone that's saying they're going to get rid of them, and he did, and people are losing their farms. And then with tariffs, countries are like, okay, we just won't deal with United States. And so they're not able to sell their crop. So it's just like, have you thought about that? Like, have you thought that through? Apparently not. Another one bit the dust. One of my real techniques. This is a 210 brush. It was getting old. Y'all have, I think now I'm down to 7 of these, and I think 4 of these, because one of these bit the dust like a week or so ago. And I don't mind it because these are very inexpensive. And I do use them every video and in every live stream. This is the Fenty Beauty Amplified Eye Primer, and we are nearing the end of this. You see the gap in the middle, and so this does not reach up here, and it does not reach around the edges down here. So when you see all this space in the middle, it is about to be done. Some of you may be saying, take out the stopper. I did that before, and it was able to reach further down, but it was extremely dry to the point where it was almost impossible for me to blend it out on my eyelid. And it was also really messy. So I said, you know what? I am not going to take out the stopper anymore. I'll just use what I can. And then, yeah, I think it is done because I didn't even take out that much today. But the good thing is I do go over this with MAC's Paint Pot and Groundwork. And so we're going to put this on. For some reason, I do like using MAC's Paint Pot as a shadow base on top of the Fenty primer. It seems to make the removal process a lot easier. I don't know why. And both of them do cause shadow to stick. The Fenty primer for me is a tacky primer, and so I never have problems with metallics or shimmery shades not sticking. And it's the same with using the MAC Paint Pot as a shadow base. It was created to be a shadow base. You can also use it for eyeliner, and I have used it for that too in the past. But it does grip. But what the MAC Paint Pot does for me is it makes it more smooth. And even though shadows grip to it, I am still able to blend it out, where the Fenty is so tacky. I have to pat even in my hooded area. In my crease, I have to pat it because I cannot just blend because it is, so tacky for me. It's not tacky for everybody. Why did I just prime my eyes? We're doing the face, the base face. Oh, man. So that means I'm going to have to put something, on my lid because you see how my eyes are hooded. my mobile lid will start to stick up here. Shoot. Oh man. All right, we're just going to take an Hourglass number 3 brush, and we're going to take this shade right here and just put it on top, just because it's going to be sticky. And so this will just dry it down to where it don't stick. And I don't do this because I prefer for whatever lid shades I'm putting on to stick directly to the primer and the shadow base. But this will literally like stick up here, this part, because my eyes are hooded, as you can see. But we are doing this today so we don't have anything sticking. So hopefully the shadows will adhere the way they normally do, being that we're going to be putting them on top of an eyeshadow already versus directly on the primer. So we're just going to leave this like this. And I do like that this isn't much of a color, because I didn't want to put much of a color because we're going to put the colors later. But I just needed to not have stickage, if that's a word. Y'all, I really was just like, what am I doing? Okay. Y'all, this is City Beauty brightening eye cream, and that little hard piece came out again. It gets hard in the nozzle, and the part that's hard is not usable. And the nozzle is not that long, which is really good, but it's just a hassle like when that happens, because then I have to do what I'm doing now and find something to wipe my finger on to get the hard part off, and then squeeze some more out again to do the other eye. I do like using an extra moisturizer because I did my skincare, but I like putting on an additional moisturizer before I put on concealer. And because I put this on right before concealer, I can't tell if it's brightening or not, because I put it on and then I put concealer right on top of it. And then when I wash my face and do my next skincare routine, it is not with this product. So I don't know if it does what it says it does or not, but I know I definitely do enjoy putting it under there. So we're going to pat this out with the same brush that we use for, no we're not, excuse me. So we're taking a clean one. Maybe I just really forgot like where I was in my process. Did I put, no, I didn't put foundation on. Y'all, why am I like not knowing what I'm doing? So usually I do my brows first, and then I do eye cream, and then concealer, and then I mix the foundation with the primer, put that on, powder that down, and then do whatever my cheek situation is, whatever my face situation is going to be. And then we do then we spray with the Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray bridal formula, and then we will do our inner rims and lower lash line, and then we do the eyeshadow look. That's my usual process. And then sometimes like today, it's like, girl, what are you doing? Apparently, I don't know. So we're going to take 1 pump of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Face Primer. I do this just to clean off the nozzle before I put the cap back on. It's not necessary. Some people don't. I just don't like things to be messy. So we're going to put 1 pump of the Fenty, excuse me if you heard that in my throat, the Fenty Hydrating Foundation, the Natural Luminous Foundation. What I find a little strange is that it doesn't say on here exactly what it is, but on their matte foundation, it does say soft matte. And I have one sitting here waiting to be open. And so this does say soft matte right here, where this one, it doesn't say, but we can tell the difference. Oh, is this a primer? This is a primer. But anyway, the foundation, it does still have soft matte on it. And you see the luminous one, and even the primer for the luminous one, it is shaped like this, where the soft matte primer and soft matte foundation is shaped like this. So even with the shapes are different. Why was I thinking this was the foundation? Because I don't know what I'm doing today. Is this content? Like, I am just like all over the place today. I think it's kind of funny. I think it gives me character and keeps things interesting, if nothing else. Why is that not going where I wanted to go? Ugh, okay. All right, y'all. All right. I'm trying to get it together. So we did just do this. Let me put that back. Okay. Things are not where I want them to be because they're not. Okay, that's what it was. All right. Primer, foundation, a Real Techniques. I don't know what I was going to say. Real Techniques 200 brush. I love this brush for foundation. I use it in every video, every live stream that I do a look. We use this brush, and I don't mind once they do die because number one, the price is inexpensive, and I have them for like 5-6 years. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of wear and tear as far as my brushing process. I am a tad aggressive when I'm cleaning my brushes as far as rinsing the water and the soap out of the brush. And by that, I'll demonstrate with this one. I'll hold the ferrule and then squeeze and pull so that the excess water and soap will come out. And sometimes with some brushes, after years and years, when I do this, sometimes the bristles are loose in here from doing that for years and years and years and years. But with these brushes and with other brushes I have, when they do start to die and I see like some of the bristles are starting to hang a little longer than the rest of them, I'm like, okay, this is about to die because these bristles are starting to pull out with me the way I make sure I get the soap and water out. And I don't mind because these still I think are less than $9, and that's being generous because I think they were like 6 something, maybe 7, but with inflation I'm just going to say less than $9. And I do get them from Sephora, and they always have a coupon code for non-prestige. You get $3.50 off $15 more purchase. And so even with that, get 2 of these and then you get the deal. So I don't mind it at all. So now we're going to take our Fashion Fair powder. It's their Set It Loose powder. The shade I wear is Truly Tawny. And even though it is a color, it's my complexion, which I absolutely love. And so this is what it looks like. It just blends right in. How about I do one side of the face and then we see? I don't think I've done that before. If I did, it was back when I first started using it in comparison to a different powder. Because I was on the Laura Mercier kick, as so many people were. And so many people still do love her powder. And then I started using the Hourglass powder, which I liked more than Lorah's because it was more finely milled. Okay, so you see a little bit more color, but it's still me. You see what I'm saying? And so when I tried the Fashion Fair powder, that knocked all of those out the box. That knocked Hourglass out the box. And it does give me a tad bit of coverage because it is my complexion, but it still looks like me. You know what I mean? And I do notice a difference if I use a translucent powder, like the Mayron translucent powder. I do notice that my skin looks, I'll say ghastly, but it really doesn't. I'm just used to this little bit of coverage that the Fashion Fair gives me. And they do have, I think, 6 shades, 8 shades. And so they have something for, I'll say almost everyone, because there's outliers out there. And usually I'm the outlier. And I was thinking about, why do I have this powder? Because I'm messy. So I'm like, why do I still have this loose powder? And it is the only loose powder I use. I do have backups. I go through it in like 4 months or so. But I was like, why do I have this powder? Because I'm super messy. And now we're going to go into Swan. And when I thought about it, we're going to use some Sigma brushes. This is the F43. And we're going to take, this says natural bronze. We'll see. And so we're just going to put this back there. And I realized that, and I'm sure I knew it at the time because I've been using them. I've been using it for years. I was insistent on buying something from Fashion Fair that I could wear. None of their foundations match me. And I was confused because it's a POC brand and I'm a POC and you don't have anything to match me. Like that, I was really annoyed. I was like, make that make sense. And so I said, I still want to support though. I still want to support. Let me find something. I did try one of their glosses or something. It was like, okay. And I said, let me just try the powder. And when I tried the powder, I was like, oh, where have you been all my life? And I've been using it ever since. Surprisingly, because I'm messy, but it is very finely milled to me, even more finely milled than Hourglass. They're translucent, but even though there is I want to say texture to it, but not like texture in a bad way, it is finely milled, but it's not as thin as the Hourglass powder. which you see for me, it is not a problem. And maybe because it is my complexion, but you saw how it applied. You see how it blended out. I have no complaints. I have no complaints. So now we're going to take the Sigma F11 and we're going to start with Mauve Fusion first. And so we're going to put that on here. We're going to put that back here. We're going to do the gradient that we normally do. What I should do is an experiment. Use one product or one palette on one side of the face and use another one on the other side, and then do like the Blend Bunny against House Labs, or because I have 5 House Labs blushes for their bronzers and for their highlighters, just use 2 on each side to see, because I always love my cheek situation, but I often wonder more so lately, like, does it look like every other cheek situation that I do? Because if it does, then I don't need, and I don't think makeup is a need anyway, but if they do, if one looks like something else, I can get rid of something, you know what I mean? Now we're going to take Luminous Coral, this shade here. We're going to turn this brush over and we're going to put that in this area here. So we stopped the first blush here. We're going to put this right here. So I've been wondering that a lot lately, because is it really that much of a difference? Like, even if, you know, I did like how I did Fox yesterday, which you may have seen like 2 weeks ago, or it might have aired like 2 weeks ago, does that look like this cheek situation? And then who remembers like 2 weeks later, or even day to day? If I go somewhere, even if I go to the same place and see the same people, like, are they going to be like, oh, that blush is lighter than the one yesterday? Like, nobody really, let me tell you something, nobody really notices. I know that for a fact because I have experimented and people were like, oh, I didn't know they were different. We're going to use Hourglass, no, Sigma. I want to say, I don't know what I was going to say, because usually I want to say Esom, for whatever reason, but this is the F03, their highlighter brush. We're going to take Sunset Fusion and we're going to do both sides. We're going to use this, we're going to just put this right here, because there is a highlighter in here and we are going to use the highlighter. So I did both sides, and so we're going up, we're going down, we're going up, we're going down. And so we're using this as a highlighter, even though it is a blush. I do take my highlighter up here. That's where we're going to put the actual highlighter. Yeah, when I use these palettes, I use the whole thing. And so this is what we're looking like. So I do think I'm going to experiment. Maybe in a live stream, I'm not sure. We're going to take Golden Hour, this is the highlighter, and we're going to do both sides. And so we stopped that last blush right here. So we're going to start here and go up to here and just go, oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this one. And you know what? It's okay, because Dim Light is in this palette. And Dim Light does tone things down. That's... Damn. Yeah, we're going to tone that down. Oh my gosh. I forgot. So we're going to take... We're going to take a clean Scott Barnes number 64 brush. And we're going to go into Dim Light, which is a finishing powder. I don't like this under my eyes. I think I mentioned that earlier, but we're going to start like right here. We're going to start. I do not like blinding highlighters. I know a lot of people do. I want people to see me. If I blind them, they won't be able to see me. And I know it's not blinding like that where they still can't see me, but if I was doing a creative look, yes. Or, you know, an event look, or just something other than just me just sitting here doing looks. Y'all, this, oof, Lord. I think I'm going to take that brush that had the bronzer on it. So we're going to sweep and turn, because we are going to just put this all over. Because this does dull down. Like if I do my blush too heavy, or if I do my bronzer too heavy, this will just kind of dim everything down. Hence it's called Dim Light. You notice I did not go right up under my eye, and we're not going to go right up under the eye because it makes my under eye discoloration look darker. And I don't know if it's the undertone under my eye because of the discoloration, or if it's the undertone of the powder. So we're going to put that down. We're going to go back to the brush that had the bronzer on it. We're not going to add more shadow, more bronzer to it, but we're just going to just kind of aggressively just just kind of tone that down without adding more. Okay. All right, I can deal with that. All right. I say as I continue on. Woo! Y'all, I keep forgetting what is that called? Golden hour. She was golden, all right. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, whew, child. As my dad would say. So this is Swan. I need to make a note to experiment. Do Fox on one half, Swan on the other, and then maybe Swan, and then Lotus with Fox, just to see. And with House Slaps. I think that'll be a good series. Like, what's more pigmented than what? What's more colorful according to, like, my complexion? Scandinavia. Makeup finishing spray. Bridal formula. I was going to wipe it off my eyes, but I have primer and shadow already on my eyes. For inner rims, we're going to take the blue. Both of these are Hung Van Gogh Beauty. The blue is personal preference. Seeing if it's creasing my eyeshadow, which it is not. I love that spray. It's such a fine mist. And we're going to turn this up. We're going to tilt our head down, look up, do our inner rim. The first time I did this, eons ago, I loved it. I've been doing it ever since. It's a slight difference, but it's noticeable. So look at this, and then look at this. It gives the appearance of your lash line being thicker. And they say blue is good if you have brown eyes, but for me, I do put other colors under here too. It just depends on what eyeshadow palette I'm using that day. And so, I'm gonna go across. That's that. See that? And we're gonna look, tilt our head back, look down, and do our upper waterline. Just put it right on the line. And that's that. I like that. Ooh. So we're gonna wind this down, put the cap back on. We're gonna take the other Hung Van Gogh one that I have, and I have blues and greens. They're a different tone of blue and green, but I know I'm going to use a blue and green, and so that's why I got these from Hung Van Gogh versus just like regular shades. This is one eye at a time, so we're going to wind this up. It feels like I disturbed an eyelash, and like it wants to either curl under or curl up when I do my inner rims. So we're going to put this on our lower lash line, and so we're just going to run this right under our lashes. I just love the look of color under the eye. I really do. And when I started doing this, I think I've done it ever since. Our beloved Mel Thompson, she used to say, eye look isn't done without a brow highlight and a corner highlight. For me, it's color on my inner rims and lower lash line. Even though a look can be done without it. Once in a blue moon, I will just blend it out and leave it that way and not put shadow on it when I'm doing the eye look. But I do usually, oh, I got an itch. But I do usually, put shadow on top of it. I have an itch. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna wind this down, put this away. So this is our base face, and thank you for being here. Let me know if an experiment to you sounds like it would be fun. One cheek this palette, one cheek another, yada yada yada. Because to me, they all kind of. This is fire though. This is nice. But let me know if that sounds like a fun experiment to you. I think it sounds fun. And it would be interesting for me to see, like, do they really just look the same? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click like, thumbs up, hype the video, share it, all that good stuff. And consider joining the membership. Click join. It'll show you the perks. And if they appeal to you, click it again. Quick process, $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. And so thank you for being here. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way.